What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Come out to John's Supermarket this week and check out all their great specials. Did you know that they are the local Boar's Head deli retailer and they have the best meats in town?
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes, you know, from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Extinction is forever. To save America's most iconic and imperiled species from extinction, we must fight for their future. Fight to save the natural lands that wildlife call home. Fight to limit pollution. Fight for smart development. Fight for their future. And fight for ours. For so goes nature, so goes us.
This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the Green New Deal. The reason for this topic is I'm constantly talking with people really on a daily basis that say, when is this gasoline price going to stop? It went up 8 cents last week, and I see that and I feel the pain. But if you really dig into this, the Green New Deal is the thing responsible for your high gas prices. The Green New Deal basically says that we're going to get away from fossil fuels and go to solar energy and wind energy. Well, fossil fuels, I don't know if you understand this, fossil fuel is what we make call gasoline, diesel fuel, and this type of thing. It's actually crude oil. Fossil fuel is crude oil, and crude oil we have off the bottom is kerosene, diesel fuel, then it goes to regular gasoline, high test, aviation fuel, jet fuel, and all the other things come off of it. So fossil fuel, which is crude oil, are all of your gasolines as such, for your combustion engines. Now, the Green New Deal needs to be phased in. You just don't turn off a switch and turn on another switch and things start happening. You have to plan on these, and in this case, the Green New Deal has not been planned for. First off, they want everybody to drive an electric car. Well, in the next 2 or 3 months, if everybody started driving an electric car, the power grid would go down because we're not ready for it. Our power is not ready. We need to take this one step at a time and first build up a grid, and then we can go phase to electric cars and get rid of the ICE cars, which are internal combustion engine cars. But there's a way to do it. It's not just you turn one thing off and turn another. It's the same thing with electricity. Coal is by far the cheapest way to make electricity. And we've got scrubbers and all this that the coal residues given off today are nothing like they were even 10 years ago. In fact, 25, 30 years ago, I can remember when it was just black smoke coming out of the coal electric plants. And today, there is no smoke. They have the scrubbers and all, and it's much cleaner than it was. But And the thing is, fossil fuels, natural gas, also natural gas is considered a fossil fuel. Now, most of our coal plants have changed over to natural gas. And natural gas is very clean. There are very few hydrocarbons in natural gas compared to the other ways of coal firing and this type of thing to make electric energy. We can't just overnight, though, go from no natural gas to solar and wind and hydro. First off, let me give you a little education on solar. If you go total solar, you've got to have some batteries, and I mean huge batteries, to back up the electricity for night. You do not produce energy when there is no sun. And if you think about it, over the course of a year, you've got about 50-50. You've got about 12 hours of sun and you've got 12 hours of shade. Now, when you do have the sun, the 12 hours of sun, there are several hours in there that it's not full sun, so you're not getting the full benefit of the solar. With wind, you say, oh man, put these wind turbines on top of the mountains and they'll just give us plenty of energy. Well, I was in West Virginia about a year ago, and if you go to West Virginia, northern West Virginia, you will find out that there are windmills all over all those mountains, and a lot of that energy goes to Washington, D.C. And I was up there 5 days, and I noticed that 2 of the days on the hillside on the mountain that I was close to, the turbines weren't even turning. There wasn't enough wind for 2 days to turn these turbines. So wind energy is not dependable. Solar energy is not dependable. What is dependable? Natural gas. Natural gas is dependable as it can be, and it's going to be there day, night, windy day, no wind, bright sunshiny day, overcast day. That's going to be there all the time. And we've got to make up our minds that we're going to use a certain amount of natural gas to produce our energy. If we get away from natural gas, we're going to have some blackouts and all. Because the only way with solar is during the day, so you've got to have battery packs to hold all this energy for night. Now, you see these Generac is advertising about, use solar power, don't pay for power anymore, and this type of thing. Well, just for curiosity, I had them come to my house, and I talked to them. And basically, for my house, it was going to cost $70,000 to totally have my house so it would be self-sufficient. Because you've got to have 3 of these huge battery packs to store your energy in during the afternoon and night. So you still got power running when there's no solar going on. So with solar energy, there's one thing, is there's going to be a lot of battery storage. And who's going to pay for it? Is each person going to put it in their house and then maintain it and this type of thing? For some of you that don't know me, I do drive 2 electric cars. I do have a van that's diesel. And if they made an electric van, I'd be driving an electric van. I love electric vehicles. But I chose to drive an electric vehicle. The government didn't tell me I had to do it. Now the government is trying to get in and tell you, you got to drive an electric vehicle. In fact, the rumor is out there, they're going to get gasoline up to $7 a gallon. So they will force you to go from gasoline to electric. Now, there's a lot of advantages to an electric vehicle, don't get me wrong. That's why I've chosen to drive one for 7.5 years. And they're wonderful vehicles. They got plenty of power. They've got just all kinds of features that the electric vehicles from 7-8 years ago, now the ICE cars are just now getting those features on them. So the electric vehicles have been far superior to your ICE or gasoline engine cars. On the green energy, you need to realize that this Green New Deal, the way it reads, and the way I understand it here, and the way it reads, is it's to eliminate fossil fuels and build green energy. Well, to eliminate fossil fuel, you can't just eliminate fossil fuel. You've got to take this slow. You've got to gradually phase in the green energy and gradually phase out the fossil fuel. The reason gas prices are going up is the government just in less than a month, they stopped fracking, they stopped drilling on their land, federal land, and they made it harder to get for oil companies to get loans to try to force them basically out of business. Well, 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, we were energy independent. We were making so much energy over here that we were shipping about 30% of it overseas. And now we're having to import about 30% of our energy into here because of the Green New Deal. Now, does that really make any sense? We're still going to use the petroleum, but yet we're going to not make it ourselves. We're going to import it from a foreign country, one of those foreign countries being Russia, which is really our enemy. So does this really make any sense? What my take on this is, why don't we ease off in the Green New Deal a little bit, let there be more drilling, let the oil companies come along, and at least let's be energy independent, and not so much that we can ship our energy overseas. Let's just be energy independent. And if we're energy independent, gas prices come down, food prices come down. If you don't realize it, everything is geared to diesel fuel. Everything we get is trucked in here. And if diesel fuel is $1 a gallon or so more than it was a year ago, well, yes, everything's going to be higher. Your food's going to be higher. Products you buy are going to be higher. It just makes common sense that the more you pay for fuel, the more that it raises the prices of things. I'll give you an example. A farmer, okay, he's going to have some corn. Okay, so he pays this truck to deliver his corn for planting. It burns diesel. And so then he sows the corn. His tractor burns diesel. Then he cultivates the corn. The tractor burns diesel. Then he gets ready to harvest the corn. The tractor burns diesel. Once he harvests the corn, he takes it to market in his diesel truck. Then after it goes to market, it is processed, and then it goes from market in a diesel truck to the distributor. And then the distributor to like your a Home Depot where you're getting your food for deer, your Tractor Supply where you're getting just regular raw corn or your chipped corn. And so therefore, and then you go to pick it up. How are you picking it up? You're either picking it in a car, pickup, or a truck that either burns gasoline or diesel. So do you see just in the process of corn how many times diesel affects the price of that corn because of how many times it affects the product itself? So if you up the price of diesel, yes, corn's going to go up. Byproducts of corn's going to go up. Everything's going to go up because we run on energy, which our main energy we run on is gasoline and diesel. That's our two main energies for transport. Now, there are in the making, Rivian's going to be making an electric truck. Tesla's going to be already got prototype of a semi electric truck, and then they're going to be making also an electric truck, and several other manufacturers are going to be making electric trucks, but that's not right now. And that's what I'm saying. This Green New Deal needs to back off, and let's go back and let's let fracking happen. Let's let drilling on federal land again, and opening up some places where we can drill, get oil and natural gas. And, then let's gradually phase in this Green New Deal. But this just turning one spigot off and turning another one on, that's not the way to do it. And our government ought to realize it is not the way to do it. Now, if you're mad about paying higher prices for your gasoline, then think about, who did you vote for? Was the person all for the Green New Deal? If you don't know, I do a little research and see how they feel about the Green New Deal. Because it's because of them that you're paying such high prices at the gas pump. The Green New Deal's responsible for this whole thing. And don't let anybody fool you. It can be changed. It can be changed with a swoop of a pen or a vote back and to relieve some of these pressures that are on oil right now. Now, these are just food for thought. This is Paul Mullins. I've done quite a lot of research on this, and I've just summed it up to make it as simple as I can. But the Green New Deal right now is the big contributor to your gasoline prices being as high as they are. And if you're really mad about it, you better look at who you voted for and if they were for the Green New Deal. And if they were, don't get mad at them, just get mad at yourself because you voted the wrong person in office. And in the future, you need to do some research on people before you vote for them. Just because they're Republican or Democrat doesn't mean they got the right ideas. You need to see how their ideas are going to affect you down the road, and vote accordingly. Yes, the Green New Deal has got a lot of good stuff in it, but again, it just can't be dumped and cut everything else off. You've got to gradually phase this in a little at a time. And one thing, let me say this. Did you know at all the surplus things from our coal-fired plants have gone to China? Now, China has the cheapest energy in the world because they've got coal-fired plants, which is the cheapest way to produce electricity. And that doesn't make any sense to me. The pollution is going to there, whether it's over in China going to there, or if it's over here in the States going in there, or wherever it is, pollution is going in the air. And one thing about China is they will have more pollutants than we ever thought we'd have. So moving the coal-fired plants to China is not a good thing because they don't really regulate themselves. They do just what they want to, and they realize that the cheap energy from coal-produced electricity is going to give them advantage over all of our manufacturing plants over here that use a lot of electricity. You use certain much kilowatt hours electricity, and whether you pay 10 cents a kilowatt hour for it or you pay $1 a kilowatt hour for it, you're still going to use the same amount of electricity to produce your product. But if you're using $1 a kilowatt hour rather than 12 cents a kilowatt hour, look what advantage you have over your competition. So again, I just want people to think about the person that you're voting for, and think how they stand on different items. And again, I'm not down in the Green New Deal. I'm just saying the Green New Deal is being moved too fast, too swift, too quick. It needs to be gradually phased in, and then we'll be ready for it. Again, our electric grid. If everybody in the next 2 or 3 months started driving an electric car, our grid can take it. Our grid would absolutely go down. Now, on this, on electric cars, they're coming out with 2 more plugs, which would make 4 different types of plugs that the electric car has. So before you purchase an electric car, look what type of a plug it has. And that will let you know if you can really charge it out when you're out and about. Now, let me say this for electric cars. If you get an electric car, you want a home charger. If you don't get a home charger, you're going to hate your electric car and you'll never like it. But if you do get an electric car, spend the $350 to $600 for a charger and charge it at home. And as I've told several people, I've had an electric car 7.5 years. And in that time, about 5 times, I charged it off to get home. So if you know your electric car, you know what your range is. And let me say this. If you're commuting, if your commute's about 100 miles, you need to get an electric car with about 150 miles. If your commute's about 150 miles, you need to get an electric car with about 225 miles. If your commute's 30, 40 miles, who cares? You can charge about 2 or 3 times a week and you'll get back and forth to work. So, and also, if you have got to charge out, right now, the Tesla has the best network of charging stations all over the US of A. You can go from here to California or here up to Maine on charging stations that Tesla has already planned. And unlike the J connectors like on the Leaf, their charging stations are superchargers. They're 150 to 250 kilowatt hour chargers. And that puts a lot of juice in your battery. In fact, you can charge up about 80% in an hour with a Tesla charger, where these J connectors, they most of them are like 25 kilowatt hours. Every now and then you can find one that's 50 kilowatt hours, but they're nowhere set up like the Teslas are set up. So you've got a lot of decisions to make coming up with this electric going electric. And just remember, solar energy is nowhere is it cheap. They claim it'll pay for itself or your first year's free. Yeah, they set up your payments for 15 years, and yeah, the first year is about free, but boy, those next 19 years, it's going to sock it to you. Like I said, for my house, it was going to be $70,000 to make my house solar independent. So again, if you're thinking, well, solar's the way to go, just they're free surveys. They'll come to your house. They'll check your house out and all, and they'll call you. And I guarantee you, you will not have a solar set up anywhere around $25,000, $30,000. No, it is not cheap by any means. And a lot of them have got a 10-year guarantee. Now, does that mean they'll last 10 years? They say that's about half of what they'll last. So maybe they'll last 20 years. So again, you've got an expense. And if you do the batteries, which goes so you can have electricity day and night, those batteries are very expensive. And to give you an example, Generex basically uses a Tesla Model S battery in its Generex systems. It's not quite the same thing, but it's real close to it. And a Tesla battery, if a Tesla battery in your Tesla car goes out, do you know how much it is to replace it? It's about $20,000. So if you want to put these batteries in your house at about, well, of course they'll have these cases and all on them, so they'll probably be about $25,000 a piece. And so you can be energy independent, you'll spend probably $50,000, $75,000 just on batteries. Remember, batteries go bad. So how far down the line are you going to have to spend another $50,000, $75,000 to keep your batteries good? And remember this, with all electric cars, after about the first year of driving it, its range is not going to be the same. Just like in a battery in your flashlight or any batteries you use in anything, the more you use them and charge them up, the less they will last. So if you've got a battery that's a rechargeable battery and you've been using it for 3 or 4 years, it will not charge up like it did when it was new. And the same thing happens with electric cars. They are working on a battery that now Quantum Escape is a company. I've been following it for several years now. And if their concept comes out, they will revolutionize batteries. But it's not there. And their stock got up to, I think, $100 and something, and they couldn't prove it. And I think their stock dropped down to maybe $12, $15. So it's called solid state battery. And if you hear that the solid state battery is come to fruition and is being manufactured, then you might want to look into your solar, your electric car, everything else, because it totally changes the way a battery operates. In other words, their batteries, where in a car maybe 150 cycles it starts dropping. Well, on the Quantum Escape battery, on about 1,500 cycles before it starts dropping. So as you can see, there's a big difference. On a regular battery, like I said, on the Tesla for 100 and something miles, you can get that in an hour's worth of charge. On a solid state battery, in about 10 minutes, you can get 150 miles. So it is going to totally change the way we look at batteries for cars, for houses, for whatever else. And just keep your eyes open, but that's not here yet. I really wish it was here so this Green New Deal would make a lot more sense. But it's not here, and it's not developed. And until it is, and we're still using the lithium-ion batteries, plus lithium-ion uses a lot of cobalt. And where do we get our cobalt? China. So it makes us more independent on China. So when you're looking at the big picture, just look at the big picture. Look at your congressman. Look at your president. Look at everybody. See how they stand on these things. Because they can make the difference on you spending $2.25 for a gallon of gas or spending $7 for a gallon of gas. So this is food for thought. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
My name's Eddie Metcalf. I enjoy working in my yard. And, I can't do that anymore because I'm missing most of my lawn. They did a CAT scan of my kidneys. No more kidney stones, that's the good news, but we found a spot on your lung. That frankly scared the hell out of me. I hadn't smoked in 22 years. How could this happen to me? He said, well, you know about radon gas. Well, I heard about it. He said, well, the second leading cause of cancer in America is radon. 22,000 people a year die from this. I literally left the doctor's office, got a test kit, put it in the house, and our result was 39.8. The upper limit is 4. We got to get this fixed. That was on a Monday, and on Wednesday, our mitigation system was up and running. Well, I think everybody should have their house tested. We'd never known we'd still be living there. I could get another tumor from it. But right now, it's changing my life.
Hi, I'm Doug Olson. I'm here in Monroe, Georgia. We're at the Monroe Walton Center for the Arts, where we have a monthly old-time music open jam. That means we play old-time music, which is Appalachian string band music, fiddle tunes, a lot of old tunes that originated in the Scots and Irish immigrations into the southeast Appalachian areas. It is an open jam, meaning anybody that wants to play can come play. There's no auditions, there's no pressure to play. You can play as much or as little as you want. We form a circle, a music circle, and each person in the circle has the opportunity to choose a tune and lead the tune. The instruments that we play are fiddle, banjo, guitar, mandolin, bass, and we actually have some recorders that play with us also. And it's all acoustic, there's no electric instruments. There's a little bit of singing, but it's mostly just instrumental fiddle tunes. And
Is there any sheet music? I noticed you all holler out the name of a song and everybody starts playing.
Right. These tunes are not written or composed by most of them not composed by any known person. They've just evolved over decades or centuries. They are written down in various books that you can buy. However, it's mostly played by ear. People learn them by ear or by reading music, both. But we play primarily just by ear. And these are tunes that are very common. You can go anywhere in the country and find a jam like this. I've been to cities in California, cities in Colorado for business travel in years past, and just found a jam on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon and sat down with people, and everybody knows these many of these tunes. There's dozens or hundreds of them, and they're commonly played in all parts of the country. So it's mostly picked up by ear, but there are versions written in various books that you can find online nowadays or find in bookstores. So it's played both by ear and off of sheet music, but we typically don't use sheet music.
And again, if somebody wants to join you, it's every fourth Saturday.
That's right. It's every fourth Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. Here at the Monroe Walton Center for the Arts, and you're also invited to look at the displays of artwork. The Art Center has many classes in various media of arts, pottery, painting, etc. You can become a member, you can become a contributor, and a participant in many of their classes. So we're really happy that they've welcomed us to have this jam on Saturdays here.
Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to your music.
Okay, bye.
Good morning, and I'm Joel Burnsid, the Walton County Ag Extension Agent here in Monroe, and I wanted to talk to you today about some of the opportunities that our Extension Service has for you this upcoming month. It is February, and I know a lot of us are not thinking about the summer quite yet, but it is time to start thinking about 4-H summer camp, especially if you have younger kids, 5th, 6th grade, and into high school. And I'll go over some of the camps that we have available. Our first summer camp is Rock Eagle. Will be at Rock Eagle in Eatonton, and this is for 5th and 6th graders, and that is going to be June 27th to July 1st. And registration is open for that, and if you're interested, please stop by the office. We have a lot of information that you can pick up, or you can give us a call, and we'll be happy to talk with you and get your child registered for the Cloverleaf Camp. Then we have our Georgia 4-H Senior Camp. This is going to be held July 4th through the 8th, and this is for high schoolers that are in 9th through 12th grades. Again, registration is open, and you can stop by and get information on that camp. We also have Georgia 4-H Extreme Senior Camp. This is also for 9th through 12th graders, and it will be held June 6th through the 10th. And this is a very fun camp with a lot of outdoor activities for high schoolers. Then we have our Georgia 4-H Junior Camp. This will be held on Jekyll Island June 6th through the 10th. And this is open to 7th and 8th graders. So if you have a child in 7th and 8th grade, please stop by because we do have limited space, so the earlier the better to get registered. And then we, last but not least, we have our Georgia 4-H Wilderness Challenge Camp. This is for children who are a little bit more interested in outdoor activities, if they enjoy that. And it's open to all 6th, 7th, and 8th grade 4-Hers. And the dates will be either June 20th through the 24th or July 4th through the 8th. We're still waiting to see what our spot will be, but that will be at Wausiga 4-H Center, which is in Dahlonega. So that will be a fun camp too. And we also know that camp is not cheap. It can be expensive. So we do have a onion sale fundraiser for the 4-Hers. So if they're interested, for every bag of onions that they sell, they'll get $5 off their camp registration. So if the kids are ambitious, that can add up, and we have a lot of kids who do get a lot of money taken off their registration by the onion sale. And we also have that information available for your kid to get involved in the 4-H onion sale fundraiser. So that is it for the 4-H events. The last thing I wanted to talk about was I'm a month late, but January was Radon, National Radon Awareness Month, and not a lot of people know about radon. It's an odorless, tasteless gas, and it can be in the air and it can be in well water. And we are offering testing either through the air or the water. And Walton County is actually a high-risk county for radon. We do see a lot of tests that come back in the higher levels. And so please give us a call or stop by. We have test kits available, and we'll be happy to talk with you about that. But we're trying to get as many people as possible to test their air and water for radon. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you and have a great day.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
that's right.
Here at TaylorMade Smiles, we hope you have a bright and cheerful holiday season. Remember to smile big in those family photos. From our family to yours, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Looking for a special dining experience with exceptional food? Look no further than Salamandra's Kitchen in Monroe. Salamandra's Kitchen has been mentioned many times in the AJC, and locals come out not just for the good food, but for a good time. So don't miss midweek trivia and weekend fun right here at the restaurant that serves up the best food and best entertainment, Salamandra's in Monroe.
Coca-Cola was a little more mean. Everybody telling me I got to go. I do one more town, I do one more show. And I don't you worry, mama, cause I can't stay long, no. Got to move along.
That's a beautiful restored model there. That looked like a D model too. Another A. And I'm sure that there's some B's in which was by far the most popular and the largest seller in the John Deere line. You notice that those particular ones, that model has a rock shaft, which is the on the rear of the tractor, and you can put some arms on it and use that to raise and lower the implements that is behind.
Walton County 4-H, there is a lot going on in 4-H. If your children are in high school, junior high, they have so many activities for the children. They have chicken judging, they have cow, horse, you just name it. There's all types of activities going on, and they've got one of the biggest goat clubs around, and they will be probably at the end of the parade. The goats are usually at the end of the parade, so we look forward to seeing them.
Goats, goats, and more goats. It's all about the goats at Double Durango Farm in Loganville, Georgia.
This is Double Durango Farm in Loganville, Georgia. We started about 15 years ago with our goats, and we've been here 20 years. It just started really as a hobby, just for fun.
Double Durango Farm offers a variety of goat fun, including farm tours, photo shoots, custom stands, and goat yoga. That's right, goat yoga. If you're looking for a relaxing, unique meditation, what better way than with a herd of goats?
Goat yoga offers an opportunity for anybody to come and try it, and they don't have to worry about if they're doing the postures correctly or if they're really just enjoying doing something active with the goats and just sharing that moment, I think.
I found the goat yoga through Facebook, and I had some friends that were coming out and I wanted to try something different, so we found that it was here in Loganville and signed up.
So if you're looking for something to do with the family this weekend, look up Double Durango Farms in Loganville, Georgia.
go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where do you come alive? A stadium, lecture hall, a music hall, church potluck? This year, you have a new spot, walkgeorgia.org, a free website that provides you with all the resources needed to get your heart rate up and body out in your community. Sign up and receive individual or group fitness tracking, fitness demos by certified trainers, recipes, and a guide to resources in your Georgia County, all in one easy-to-use site. When you move more, you live more. walkgeorgia.org.